on their first night back to the lake to catch fish were very, very successful, what would have happened? They would have settled in and said, all is well now. We don't want to live a life of lottery, following the way that we're not very sure of. After all, we have been shocked once bitten, twice shy. But that's not what happened. God did not allow that to happen. They toiled all night and caught nothing. Typical of God's ways. When a human being is going to be led astray by riches, by worldly gains, by fame, he would rather not answer such a prayer for riches, for plenty, for fame, for power, if it's going to destroy the human being rather than beg. So this is what happened to these fishermen, the apostles. All night toiling in the sea and coming out with not even a single fish. Then at daybreak, when they're coming out dejected, wondering what next, they see somebody on the shore who calls on them and says, "Hello, children, have you caught anything?" Of course, nothing. That's a common song among fishermen. Even if they've caught a lot, they'll say, just something little. So it is now all the one of them say, nothing. Then he tells them, throw the net, cast the net by the side of the boat. Now, experienced fishermen know that as you come from the deep and come towards the ordinary shore, you get less fish. Nobody casts a net near the shore because that's where every Dick and Tom, learning fishermen, do their trials. So they scare away all the fish from there. If there's any, it's already caught. So nobody even bothers if you're an experienced fisherman. You look for the real places where there are torrents and currents that bring in big catch. But like this, once somebody has a good spirit in him, the spirit of obedience comes forward. So they obey blindly, they forget about their expertise as fishermen. And indeed they catch a great fish. So what is Jesus telling them? That if you go into the world alone and try to gain life there, you will be a miserable loser. But if you stay by me, you will always have what you need. Plentiful. Stay by me, you will get what you need. And that's why the old song will remain forever meaningful till the end of the world. The people here, come. Get clothes, dress yourself well. The father comes and finds only chaos. So he starts to admonish Francis, what have you done? And to banish him. And Francis decides to even remove the only clothes he was wearing and say, if you are so annoyed with me because of your things, and not even the clothes I'm wearing are yours, I'm really sorry. So he removes the clothes, lives with the father, remains stark naked, and goes to dwell with the poor. And eventually not only with the poor, but also with nature, with wildlife, with birds, with trees. Those are the ones he calls his sisters and brothers and sings for them songs. So I think the same spirit that inspires Francis of Assisi also inspired Pope Francis. That's why he has really championed the cause for nature. And I hope that same spirit will dwell in us. When I see you, especially the young people, fall in church like this, if only the spirit that inspired Pope Francis to take care of our sister, nature, our mother, nature, our father, nature, we could make a lot of difference. Can you imagine if in each of our communities, each of our homestays, you have a little woodlot of your own? These weather vagaries that are disturbing our farmers will be a thing of the past. But it's not easy doing such small things like planting 2-3 trees every other rainy season. Looks too huge, too difficult. I don't have money for buying trees. I don't have money for many things. How can I get money for buying trees? True Christianity is in doing simple, good things well. Simple, good things that must be done, doing them well. Because little by little makes a bundle. So that's the gospel he preached. Sometimes when you go and preach about conservation of nature and environment, you look cheap. You look cheap. If you go and talk about big things like artificial intelligence and many other things, but conserving environment, those are small things, but they're the ones that matter most. The other area where Pope Francis became an icon by doing simple things that anybody else would have done, but most people don't see that necessary. When he invited the leaders of South Sudan to Rome and met them, had dialogue with them, and tried to convince them on the need for dialogue as the most plausible and most viable strategy for resolving the decades of conflict in South Sudan. He did not stop just at telling them the words, because I'm sure he knew that many people have told these fellows the same words, but they have not listened. What do I do? He did a little thing. He dramatized a little thing that became a very catchy symbol. A whole pope went down on his knees and started to kiss the feet of Salva Kiir. After kissing the feet of Salva Kiir, moved on to kiss the feet of Riek Machar. After that, went on kissing the feet of other dignitaries who had traveled with these guys, this entire delegation, doing little things. Little unique things, if you could add a word in it. I'm sure there are many other little things, good things that we also do every day. But we only look out for other little unique things that are not usual. Those are the things that create a change. They cause an opportunity for dialogue. We have social media these days, and they like to capture a lot of things and post on social media. But one thing that I had never seen before on social media, maybe it is there but it never crossed my eye, is the picture of the veneration of the cross on Good Friday. Somebody took that, and yesterday it was in one of our social forums, and somebody who has always been very controversial in religious matters in that forum was saying, you see, these Catholics are worshipping their Baal. Baal, you know, it was one of the idols that were worshipped by the neighbors of the Israelites when they got into Canaan. They are worshipping their Baal. It is annoying when you're a Catholic, when somebody abuses what you believe in. But God allows such things so that if He begins to trigger meaningful and deeper debate, so that those who are venerating the cross without understanding the meaning also get waken up, to be wakened up. So what's really happening? Are we venerating wood, worshipping only just wood, and we are adoring idols and idol in this prayer time? So by the journalist taking that unique photo that happens once in a whole year and posting it, whatever mind the journalist had, I'm sure it was a good mind. Somebody wanted to show the devotion, share with others, remind others that if you missed the veneration of the cross this Good Friday, you are really at a loss. Until again next Good Friday. But here, it generated debate, just like the Acts of Peter and John in the temple brought a lot of debate among the leaders of the Jews. That is good. If we're going to create change and bring about enlightenment, bring the gospel to enlighten the lives of men and women in this world, we need to be hot ourselves. We need to do strange things ourselves in love. Things that begin to generate debate and make people raise their eyebrows. If we are only following the routine and think of this doing nothing new, it's not bad. It's better than following the stray road. But it's not good enough. It's good but not good enough. We want to thank God for the seeds of faith and the seeds of humanity that God has planted into the world through Pope Francis, especially his messages of dialogue and reconciliation to world leaders. The amount of suffering these world leaders are causing for humanity is just like the work of the devil himself, the work of Lucifer. But sometimes when you're blinded out by power, you don't see the destruction you're causing to other human lives. You are just moving on. Say, in war there are casualties. In war there are losses. It is no more. No. In this age where God has given us a lot of wisdom and intelligence and we're transforming the world in the area of social communication, artificial intelligence, human beings cannot think beyond the instinct of the wildlife, and they even take pride in killing more and more on the other side than the other side has killed on our side. It is one of the biggest shame for human beings. Humanity has evolved, has become over-civilized. But one area where humanity is failing to get civilized and getting increasingly decivilized is that area of war, the culture of war, the culture of violence. It's not only happening in America, it's not only happening in Gaza, it's not only happening in Russia and Ukraine, it is also happening in our own families. Sometimes life can be very, very sad in our communities, in our families, because those who lead us in these areas don't feel for us. They don't fit themselves into our shoes. They don't bother to find out how we are feeling. They don't have that love like Peter had when he saw this cripple. We want to pray for ourselves that by praying for this great man, Holy Father, Supreme Pontiff, that the Spirit that led him to love the world, that he was always praying for different peoples and communities that were suffering, that Spirit may touch us also, so that as we continue growing and journeying in this world, we will see what we can do and pray for the grace to give us the strength to do it. We shall also be able to see what needs to be changed, but we are not able to change it, and put our trust and faith in Christ to do it, and we will lift such situations to God in prayer. May the good Lord who gave us Papa Palasico and supported him conduct the ministry he did so well, have mercy on his soul, but also continue to lead this church according to his will. The Lord be with you.